The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform. Keeping our island community informed and secure. Be alert, be aware, and care. Together we can have a safe Hawaii.
Aloha and welcome to another episode of Safe Hawaiʻi. I'm Denise Leitonen with Hawaiʻi Police Department, and I am very excited about the guest joining me today. In our studio is the first ever female deputy chief in the history of Hawaiʻi Police Department, Deputy Chief Sherry Bird. Chief, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, it was really groundbreaking when Chief Mahuna selected you as the deputy chief, and you were the first ever assistant chief, the second ever major in the department. Tell us a little bit about yourself for the viewers who aren't familiar with you. You know, how long have you been in the department, and what's your journey been like? Where did you start out, and where have you served?
If I could back up just a little bit before I got in the police department. So I was actually born in Japan. My dad was a Marine, so he met my mom in Japan, and we kind of traveled a little bit and finally landed on Oahu. I think I was in 6th grade maybe. Graduated from Kailua High School, joined the military after that, and during that time my dad had moved to the Big Island. So that's how I landed here. So when I was in the military, or actually when I was trying to get into the military and figure out what job I wanted and stuff, I actually wanted to be a military police officer. But at that time, they had a height requirement. I was 2 inches too short, so unfortunately, that wasn't, in the cards for me at that time. But nonetheless, I fulfilled my enlistment, got out, but I knew I still wanted to be a police officer. So I was lucky enough to be hired by the Hawaiʻi Police Department in 1998, so been with the department for 28 years. My journey, I started off in patrol, working first in the North Kohala district. Then I was able to transfer to the Kona district. And then I got a temporary promotion to our vice narcotics section, and several promotions after that within the vice section. So I've worked every rank in that section, a lot of time in vice, about 12 years.
Wow.
And then
And that's some hard work.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And then I did a little bit of time in our criminal intelligence unit, and then our criminal investigation section. I was the captain of our South Kohala district.
That's when I first met you.
Yes. And then promoted to major of our area 2, the west side of the island, operations on that side. And then in January of 2024, I transferred over to administration, get a different perspective on the functions of our department. And then I was lucky enough to be promoted to assistant chief. And then now here we are today.
So you've really worked all different aspects of the department, admin and ops and vice, because those are vastly different areas of expertise.
Yes.
So, wow, you bring a whole lot of experience to the table. What, over that 28 years, what are some of the milestones that stand out to you?
Milestones for me personally is...
Or maybe memorable cases, stuff like that.
Okay, memorable cases. So like I said, I've spent a lot of time in vice. I've had the opportunities to interact with a lot of people. I think what's memorable for me is being able to make a positive impact in people's lives who are going through not so hard times. And they might not realize it at the time. But I will say there's been several instances when, I've been out of vice for quite a while now. And just 3 months ago, I had somebody contact me, reach out to me, and express their thanks. I mean, you don't hear it too often when people are thanking you for arresting them, but thanking me for arresting them and just treating them like a human being and let them know that they are valued. And, they may be going through a difficult time at that point in their time, but it was pivotal for them and helped them to get on the right track for them.
So you played a pivotal role in them getting on the right track.
Yes.
So that leads me to a question of, how women bring a different element to policing naturally, but how is women police officers, How is their approach to policing maybe different from men, or how do they augment the department?
Yeah, I think women are a great augment to the department. I think as a whole, women approach things, women are seen more of a nurturer. They approach things with more, I want to say, gentleness. You know, they just have a natural ability sometimes to listen and try and really understand the root of a problem. Um, and not taking anything away from our male counterparts because they are equally, skilled and talented in various aspects. But just, women naturally just have that nurturing, gentle persona about them.
Yeah, and yet still have to be strong at the same time.
Yes.
So you have to constantly having that balance and juggling. What's it been like? Because 1998 policing was very different than today's policing. So what was it like when you first joined the department?
From my perspective, when I first joined, policing was more about strict enforcement of the law. We're the police and we're going to find, the criminals. We're going to put the bad guys and gals away, so to speak. The evolution of policing has turned into a more community policing, community involved policing approach, I'll say. So the community's more involved. We're more engaged with the community, partnerships, collaboration, which is really important to be successful in policing, to make sure that our communities are engaged and we keep our community safe.
And so what would you say to women who are considering a career in law enforcement?
I can tell you it's very rewarding. There's a lot of people that want to give back to a community that has given a lot to them. I think I find that in policing. For all of our officers, we have great opportunities. For me, I've got to travel to places, experienced different types of professional development, conferences, classes, and things like that. But to help me help make me a better person, not just professionally, but also personally.
And there's career growth within that.
Absolutely, yes.
Because as evidenced by you, you're now deputy.
Yes.
And that's a big deal. What's the reaction been from community and the department? Because you're the first ever female deputy chief, breaking those glass ceilings.
Yeah, I've got nothing but support from community, from my peers, from people I don't even know, really. Just very supportive, encouraging, proud, happy. And I want to make everyone proud. And, I want to serve my position well, not for me personally, but for the betterment of our department and our community.
What does that look like in terms of your new tenure, if you will? Because we also have a new chief and we have a new deputy chief. How does that translate within the community? What kind of projects are you guys looking at and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so Chief Mahuna and I actually are recruit classmates. So we came into the department together, and he and I have.
And that's pretty incredible. I mean, you guys started way back as recruits 28 years ago, and here you guys are as chief and deputy. That's just, I mean, what are the odds, right? Yeah, I don't think you probably guessed the two of you would be chief and deputy.
No, we're certainly not. But, the chief and I have basically one goal, is to make the department better for the future. It's good now, but there's always room for improvement, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to improve and be better for the next generation.
Well, without giving too much away, because I know you have a lot of different projects in the works, but can you give us an example of something?
Technology. Exploring advances in technology. How can we capitalize on that to help our workforce not be so overworked?
Yeah, amen to that. Amen
Yes.
to that. Yes, absolutely. And, before we wrap up, What would you like our Big Island community to know about you and about women in policing?
Uh, for me and all of our women that's in our department, just basically we're out there working hard. We're working hard to have a professional police presence and police force. Again, but we ultimately we want to make sure our Big Island community remains as safe as possible. And I can, just attest to the fact that all of our officers, male and female, as well as our support staff, are all working tirelessly to make sure that we're functioning as efficiently, as effectively as possible, and just to make sure that our Big Island stays safe.
Now, I have to ask, you have a little pin atop your number of your stars there. What does the pin stand for?
So the pin represents my attendance at the FBI National Academy, and that's a 10-week course for executive level policing personnel, a leadership, if you will, development, professional course of study. But we're embedded in at Quantico for 10 weeks with professional teaching staff, learning, and definitely a bunch of other professionals. Like there were 268 members in my class.
Thank you for being our deputy chief. Very excited to have Deputy Chief Sherry Bird here on the show today. Thank you, our audience, for joining us, and stay tuned till next month. Aloha.
And everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Fire Prevention Party, here with our wonderful and very handsome and talented
and nervous
Mr. Kyle Nakata. Give it up, everybody. Round of applause. Woo! Yeah. So we were talking last episode, so I just want to do a quick intro real quick. This is Fire Prevention Inspector 1, Mr. Kyle Nakata, and he has been recently promoted, I think 7 months, you said?
About 7 months.
I don't know, you lose track of time when you're having fun, right? So about 7 months. And so he's one of our newest inspectors. So we just want to continue on the conversation from last time, right? So we were talking about meeting people and going out, but I got to tell you guys a hilarious story because we were talking about it off camera. So another fire inspector who shall not be named,
John,
who is the only other Filipino around here other than me, is so we were filming this spot because we had to put together a video, right? So we had to put together this video in admin. And this is when Ray was still alive. So Ray Miyagi was our old, timesheet super, knew everybody's pay code guru in the department. The guy knew everybody's stuff. It was amazing. And so we were filming a promo spot by his desk. And I think all John had to say was like, don't be that guy and da-da-da-da. And it took us like 45 takes to get it done. It's me and Tyson. We're trying to take turns shooting because the problem is every time John would walk back up, we'd start giggling and the camera would start shaking. And then John would just start, you guys messed me up. And he would walk us. So Ray is laughing so loud, Ray's in the video. So we had to like redo the video again. Right. So that's just, the kind of stuff we do sometimes. We do fun things in the office. Right. So we were talking about kind of meeting people, getting out there, because we talked about the inspections last time. Right. And meeting people in the inspections and trying to build that rapport. But I think one of the things people may or may not know about what we do a lot is actually a lot of public education stuff. So we do kupuna meetings. We do, career fairs. We do that kind of stuff too. So we set up a lot. Actually, she sets it up a lot.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there. Big round of applause for her. Yeah. So, when you're out there interacting, kind of tell me, as an inspector now that you're kind of doing more career fairs and those kind of things, how's the interaction been with like the kids and all that kind of stuff?
Prior to becoming a firefighter, I was an EA at Hilo Union.
Okay.
So I had experience, like working with kids. It's good. Like I know how to connect with them. And,
right.
I feel a little bit better. I'm not talking in front of a bunch of people, but it's kids,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just FYI, I did not know about this EA thing because I would have made him do way more pub ed if I knew about this.
Talking to 1 or 2 kids and they come by our boat, that's fine.
As long as it's not a crowd.
As long as it's not a crowd. Anything more than 2.
Right. Okay. So kids, if you guys are coming to see Uncle Kyle at a booth, just, maybe take turns. I don't know, make a line or something.
Make
Yeah.
a line.
But it's good. I mean, yeah, we've been educating them about fire prevention, how to
Right.
operate a fire extinguisher. So Aaron's new thing is bringing out our PPE.
Right.
So it draws them in, and then we have them try it on. And
So for all the people at home who do not know what PPE is, can you,
it's the fire gear that we use
right,
to protect ourselves in fires.
like the bunker jacket,
the bunker jacket,
the helmets,
pants, helmet.
Okay, not this helmet. This is our investigator helmet. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, so all that kind of stuff, right? So you guys interact with the kids. You guys bring stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Goodies,
Goodies and
stickers. I'm sorry
Pencils.
if parents are dealing with stickers that we give their kids, because pretty sure they end up on dressers or doors or
guarantee.
like your car door.
Yeah.
Right, somewhere.
Thank you, Jordan, for cutting all the stickers.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Yes. So, we interact with the public in inspections and we do all those things. And so I think the big thing I have a question for you is, now that you're starting to do that more and more, is it getting easier to deal with the public in terms of just creating that initial interaction for you? Or do you think it's,
A little bit, but I think I'll always have that nervous side of me,
right,
going to talk and interact with different people.
right.
It's just,
But you're like working on it. Because
yeah.
honestly, he's gotten way better at this. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's awesome. And that's a big part of our job, right? A big part of our job is kind of getting out there and communicating with people and doing all that stuff, right? So yeah, it's part of the deal. But so with that being said, we have our public education program. People put in a form with our administration, and when it comes to certain events, they'll forward it to us, and then we'll try to participate, right?
yeah.
I mean, we get a lot of requests, so we can't do them all. Sorry in advance.
But we do try our best to
Yeah, we do try.
whatever we can.
We do try,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we have to fit that in with all the other things we do, right? The inspections and the fire investigations and plan review, which we haven't really talked about much at all, but it's just part of the job. Yeah. So one thing, that we wanted to kind of just brush over real quick is, unfortunately our fire chief, Kazuo Todd, passed away. And so, right now we're in a state of transition. And so, while grieving his loss, we're also trying to move the department forward, right? And so that also includes like what we're doing, right? So, we talked about, our system, we talked about the pub ed. Is there anything you think that people would love to know about inspectors? So like, what's one thing you didn't know that inspectors did when you were part of the department, but you didn't realize, like crud, you guys do that too? I didn't realize you guys did that. Was there anything that we're doing that you're, crud, I didn't realize that?
Yeah, I think a lot of what Captain Goo does, as far as wildland
Right.
and the drone program, and
Right.
I think there's a lot of stuff that he does. He's always busy.
Beyond
He's
busy.
always busy.
Yeah, the guy's always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in general, like, I didn't know anything much about fire inspection actually when I was out online.
Right.
So everything I'm learning now is,
Didn't realize that
Yeah.
that was going on,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was so much to do. I know people think that, inspection is, we're lazy and this and that, but there's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's
that
a lot
goes
of stuff
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's always challenges, right? Because we're support services, right? So we support the department, right?
Right.
So we support the mission. So part of our job is to not only inspect buildings for the public, but it's also to make sure that we're inspecting the buildings for our guys, right? Because that's
Oh, yeah.
that's a big one, right? For us, is making sure that we're getting out there and, okay, if something doesn't work, for instance, we want to know about it and then relay that to our guys saying,
Right.
hey, this thing doesn't work or whatever, right?
Right.
And then we have how many inspectors? Because I don't think people know this very much, right? Is how many inspector ones do we have for the entire island?
Right now, 3. And prior
3.
to 7 months ago, with me and Aaron getting hired, there was 1.
There was one,
Yeah.
right? Right. So, I mean, there's a challenge, right? So, people that do call us and do request stuff, we're always, okay, we're trying our best. We got 3 guys to run around and do this. So,
Right.
yeah. But with the programs, going back to that too, I think the stuff that Captain Goo's doing, right? Tyson's doing, These are all things, they're initiatives, right, that the administration wants us to push, right? Because we all know, we've had other discussions on the podcast about Lahaina and, those types of situations. We've had our own, actually, when Lahaina was going on, we had our own issue here with everything burning near Mauna Kea Beach Hotel, right? And that even that, they lost a few buildings down there, their support buildings too, right? So, I think for us, it's finding new initiatives to make sure we can go out and keep the public safe, right? And so one of the things that Tyson's doing, and you were helping him with, right, is the HWMO, which is Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization, right? And so they do a lot of work with communities. So, explaining how to home harden, right? Take care of your house and take care of the plants around your house. Can you kind of tell us about an experience you've had with them that you think was kind of cool, or something that you didn't do before in the department, that'd be?
I think every excuse me. I think every experience that I've gone on 5 community assessments.
Right.
And it's good that, we're going out, we're interacting with the different communities, and it's great that they want to take the initiative and make their community safe, make their home safe. But yeah, I think every aspect of HWMO is great.
Right.
Home hardening, they didn't know anything about that. It's basically teaching homeowners how to make their homes safer,
right?
Prevent from embers, going into your house and possibly starting a fire. How to create barriers around your house,
right?
So their guidelines is 5 feet, no combustibles, 10 feet away from your house. Smaller shrubs and whatever.
Right. So they have like a map that you can get, and they have it on their website, right? So you can go and find a map to kind of help you with the, where you need to be, kind of want gravel here and lower combustible stuff here and whatever it is, right? And has it been pretty, you think overall the experience has been pretty good?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good that we do all these community initiatives. I know they're challenging, right? Because you guys are having to go out and do them. Our staff behind us here, they're having to schedule everything and take phone calls and try to make everything work. But I think in the end, what we're really trying to do is get out there in the community and just say, okay, we're here. We have this knowledge base. Let's try to share it with you guys so that we can ensure that, your families are safe, right? In the event of something like that happening. Right. And so that's always a challenge. But I truly appreciate your time. I know it's a challenge to do the work. Thank you for signing on to be part of our party. Right, because it's chaotic at times, but we appreciate it. Like I said, thank you everyone out there, just for watching and listening to us. Have a blessed and amazing week. Take care. From the Fire Prevention Party. Aloha.
I am Officer Kaipo Arello of the Hawaiʻi Police Department, and I am here to ask for your assistance in locating individuals who you will see in just a moment. Our department depends on you to work with us by acting as our eyes and ears out in the community. If you provide an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers, you may be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000. Crime Stoppers is a volunteer program run by ordinary citizens like you who want to keep our community safe. Here's how it works. First, get a code. Next, use your code to track your status and then collect your reward. It's that easy. Here are some individuals we need your help in locating. Please call if you know their whereabouts.
The Hawaiʻi Police Department requests your assistance in locating 32-year-old Sterling Heto of Waikoloa Village, who is wanted on one outstanding warrant with total bail of $2,000. Heto has an average build, is 5 feet 9 inches tall, 135 pounds, with curly, long brown hair and blue eyes. He also has a medium-sized tattoo of a fish on his right forearm. Heto is known to frequent the Waikoloa Village and Waimea areas. Be on the lookout for 33-year-old Chase Gamble, who is wanted on one outstanding warrant with a total bail of $100,000. Gamble has an average build, is 5 feet 9 inches tall, 177 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. His last known address was in the Waikoloa Village area, and he is known to frequent Waikoloa Village, Kauai High, and Waimea. We are looking for 37-year-old Francis Mossman, who is wanted for 2 outstanding warrants with total bail of $1,500. Mossman is 6 feet 1 inches tall, 215 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. He is known to frequent Kona District. Be on the lookout for 44-year-old Matthew Brian Cummings, who is wanted on a $50,000 warrant. Cummings is Caucasian, 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. He was last known to live in the South Kona area and frequents the Kona area. We are looking for 34-year-old Gabriela Marie Kuitugua Hasi, who is wanted on an outstanding warrant with a total bail of $5,000. Hasi is 5 feet 1 inches tall, 125 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Her last known address was in the Kailua Kona area, and she is known to frequent the Kona area. Be on the lookout for 46-year-old Joshua Amaral, who is wanted on a $30,000 Paris warrant for first-degree terroristic threatening and felony abuse. Amaral is Caucasian, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 160 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. He was last known to live in the South Kona area and frequents the Kona and Ocean View areas. Amaral should be considered armed and dangerous. Please call us if you know the whereabouts of 41-year-old Hubert Kekahuna Kekona, who is wanted on 3 outstanding warrants and 1 APB. Kekahuna Kekona is 5 feet 9 inches tall, 175 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. His last known address was in Ocean View, however he is known to frequent the Hilo, Mountain View, and Hawaiian Acres areas. Kekahuna Kekona is also known to have violent tendencies. Police request assistance in locating 41-year-old Jason Anthony Magdaleno of Mountain View, who is known to be armed and dangerous. He has 2 outstanding warrants with a total bail of $10,000. Magdaleno is described as 5 feet 7 inches tall, 145 pounds, with brown eyes and balding. Please help us locate 33-year-old Christopher Matos, who is wanted on 3 outstanding warrants and 6 APBs. Matos has a large build, is 5 feet 11 inches tall, 195 pounds, with short black hair and brown eyes. He is known to frequent the lower and upper Puna area. Matos is also known to be armed and dangerous and should not be approached. Call us if you know the whereabouts of 42-year-old Sierra Davis, who is wanted for 1 outstanding warrant and 1 APB. She is 5 feet 3 inches tall, 120 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. Davis is known to frequent the Mountain View and Hawaiian Acres areas. Be on the lookout for 24-year-old Kaleo Melo of Na'alehu, who is wanted on 2 outstanding warrants totaling $10,000. He is also wanted for questioning in a vehicle theft and criminal property damage investigations. Melo is 5 feet 6 inches tall, 170 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Help us locate 21-year-old Josiah Manila Lewis of Pahala, who is wanted for questioning relative to multiple investigations including burglary, abuse, terroristic threatening, criminal property damage, and theft. Manila Lewis is 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes.
As always, we want to thank you for your assistance in helping us to locate these individuals. Tipsters who prefer to remain anonymous may call the island-wide Crime Stoppers number at 808-961-8300 and may be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000. Crime Stoppers does not record calls or use caller ID. Hawaiʻi Island's Most Wanted is a project of Crime Stoppers Hilo Inc., which is a partnership of the business community, the media, and the police. It was inspired by the national TV show America's Most Wanted. I am Officer Kaipo Arello of the Hawaiʻi Police Department. Mahalo for watching.